welcome everyone to the
Oh,
show.
did,
Sorry about that.
did you play that again?
It's hard to get used to
Uh-huh.
that. But hey, welcome everybody to the show. Welcome
Yeah.
to True City Fan TV, collaboration with Pitch Points. We're again doing a show together. Myself and my good friend Patrick, who's also a City fan, all the way from Ireland in Europe. Pat, my brother, how are you, man? Happy New Year.
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Happy New Year to you too, man. I'm good. I'm all good. Enjoying the new year, and hopefully we continue working on more and more videos. I've noticed we're not fans of reactions. We don't do a lot of reaction videos after the match. To be
So,
honest with you,
yeah.
it's very hard to do. I was just explaining to somebody. He was telling me the same thing. He's like, "How come you and Carl don't do reactions after the match?" I was like, "It's very hard to do most reactions because we win." I know that sounds cocky, but we win, and we're not very reactionary like other fans. Where they start crying, start complaining. We are just calm. We would rather do a preview, but I don't know what you think yourself.
No, I think you're very good at doing reaction videos. In fact, I think one of your videos that you did a reaction for after the Arsenal game, I think it was on New Year's Day, got your most hits,
Oh,
right? Got the most views. So I think you're very good at it. For me, I my reaction videos are normally around the Champions League, and I try to do the games itself, and it's a little more detailed. But I thought your reaction video for the Arsenal game was spot on. I think you got a lot of hits because two reasons. Number one, you talked about the controversial game, and number two, you did some trolling too, so maybe that also added to it as well. But
I think I did that video out of excitement. I didn't even set up the camera. I usually just switched on the lighting and just put my phone and recorded and uploaded it without no edit, nothing. But anyway, yeah. But I'm saying maybe we will do videos where, like, obviously minus the throwing. As I said, you don't expect throwing videos from me. That's just maybe one of them. But we will do one that obviously sometimes we analyze what happened because there's certain games that need to be analyzed, especially the Liverpool and City game and the Chelsea and City game
yeah,
also that were played before. Like there was a lot of stuff happening in there. I remember you did one reaction. We did one together where you opened my eyes and say, "Look at Kyle Walker in the Chelsea game and Liverpool game. He keeps making runs as if he's a false nine, but this also disrupts the defense." So
yeah.
we will do more videos. So anyway, what's on topic today, my friend?
Yeah. So obviously, there's a small matter of the City versus Chelsea game this weekend. Tomorrow morning for us, 7:30 Eastern time in the US. For you, it's going to be, I think it's 12:30 UK time.
Yeah,
And really,
twelve
just
thirty, very early. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's a whole thing. Yeah, and I just want to do a preview of the game itself. I've tweeted some things over the past couple of days online about how Chelsea can get the upper hand, but also how
Hmm.
City can get the upper hand as well. I kind of broke it down
Yeah.
into formations and systems, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, and maybe show some
Yeah.
clips and some graphics around what each team is going to do, and then talk about where the opportunities are, basically. Yeah, that's kind of the focus for today. But before we start that, I want to talk about City's financial results for last year, because I think it's important for us to talk about that. I know that
Yeah,
the
that'll be
board,
yeah, that'll be a great point to start. Also, another great point to start. Sorry for cutting you. Is congratulations to Raheem for being Player of the Month.
yeah,
5 goals, 1 assist. This is amazing. Look, at the end of the day, all of us, maybe majority of the City fans, we had something to say about Raheem, but it's because we know who he is and we know how he plays. So we were so shocked that what has happened to our baller. Why is he
yeah,
performing for England and he's not performing for Man City? And then those rumors about the contract keeps on coming in. Fans are fans, it rubs you in. But at the end of the day, we hope for the best. Look, whether he signs or doesn't sign, I hope for the best for him. I want him to be at his top game to get whatever he's happy with. If he stays, that's good. That's another brilliant player for us. I'm pretty sure you can agree with me, Carl, that apart from Salah, Raheem comes second. That's for me. I'm sorry, whether you like it or not, it's not money, it's Raheem. Let's be honest. The numbers, stats back it, and how he gets into the box. It's Raheem second for me. And then congrats to Pep again for winning another Premier League Manager of the Month. Another thing I would like to say is Pep could have won many of them, but some of you guys end up robbing him by making these silly ideas that, oh, so and so is playing so well. Why they've got 4 draws? I don't know if you've seen that, Carl, before. I have seen teams where a manager has done 4 draws and they've given it to him because he's done amazing, hasn't dropped point, hasn't lost any games, and yet Pep has won WWW and other than his DWDW and they gave it to them. But anyway, that's what I just wanted to say. Anyway,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for us, I mean, for the whole Raheem thing, for me, Raheem, if he goes, fine. All I'm saying is that we want our Raheem back. The Raheem that we know that can destroy teams, that is good on the ball. Yes, he misses chances, but we want that guy back. And I think we have him back now. Whether he leaves, doesn't sign a new contract, that's a whole different situation. We just want our Raheem back. And we have some people on the chat, but I want to invite our very good friend who's just joining the show, Waneka. Welcome. First time visitor onto the show. How are you? We can't hear you.
She's on mute, isn't it? You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we are. How are you doing, Waneka? How are you doing?
Neka, how are you?
Yeah, she's back on mute. Anyway, as she's fixing her stuff, do you want to go on then?
Yeah, let's go. So we have some people who are. So we have Adam says, "Hey, Adam, how are you, brother? Good to see you, man. I love our WhatsApp chats and our jokes. I think it's fantastic." Abdallah, I hope you guys are well. Yeah, we're fine, man. Hope you are well. Is that our friend Abdallah, or is that somebody else?
It might be. You mean Abdullah? It might be him. Or Abdul. Yeah. Abdul is there's Abdullah and there's Abdul. So there's two different ones.
Yeah. Abdallah says the lack of transparency from the club for a while is shocking. Not really, man. They can't disclose COVID cases if the players don't want to disclose it. It's legal. You can't disclose. It's privacy and legal issues. You can't disclose COVID cases if the players don't want to do it. So that's the reason why. If not, the players can sue the club. Yeah, but it's the players. The players don't want to do it. If they want to do it, they would, right? That's the issue. It's a privacy issue. Mela says Man City 80% possession, but concede to Swindon or Watford. Okay, but they still won the game.
What is he saying? Read that back.
Well, you see, 80% possession, but still concede to Swindon or Watford. Yeah, but I always say one thing that teams don't come to play football to sell yam or potatoes or shepherd's pie. Everybody tries to score a goal. Without scoring goals, there's no game. The reality is you have to win your games. It's a moot point. Someone said it's a breakfast game. Yeah, as for us, it's a breakfast game. It's a coffee game for me because early in the morning I get up with my coffee. For those in UK and all over the whole world, it may be lunch or maybe even dinner in Australia. Yeah, early morning kickoff. It's going to be early morning kickoff. So Charlie says, "Hi, Charlie. How are you, man? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're feeling well.
Hope you're well, Charlie."
Right? Someone says Raheem is. Wait, who says? Yeah, Charlie. Someone says something about Raheem. Raheem Abdullah says Raheem is staying. He wants to stay, and yep, I hope he does. All we want.
Yeah, I hope he does. Everybody wants him to stay, so that's good.
Yep. Okay. Waneka, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. Just want to welcome Waneka. Did I pronounce your name correctly, Waneka?
Yes. Yeah.
Or is it Waneka?
Waneka. It's nice.
I think I'll call it a Waneka on my show.
Waneka, welcome to the show. Between Patrick and I, we do this collaboration often. I think we share ideas, and we're really happy that you're able to join us. I really love your tweets. I love your energy. I love the fact that you're back in the club. I love the fact that you're bold. You're unafraid. You say it as it is. You don't take any shots. You fight back when you need to fight back. For me, I know that traditionally we've always been a club that's kind of being more cautious, more kind of balanced. But I think this new generation of fans are one to really, really understand where we are in time and understand the lovely football and the moment we're in, and believe in it. So I want to go. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I think our club is growing, year by year, and the fans, we are getting more confident by the season. And with this, I'm very sure that we are going to move higher while Man United move lower, and that's what we want. And and I'm sure that with time, and I also have this confidence that Pep is going to stay longer, given if he has all these signings like Haaland, and our fans, we would like it if all these signings comes through, and Pep is happy, he might stay. I have this feeling, and this thing will give the fan base, this confidence, to speak out for the club, in any circumstances, in any situation. All these hungry journalists like Miguel Delaney comes from nowhere to write all this
No, you had
stupid.
to name drop him.
That man,
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
As that man he's so annoying. I'm still going to mute him. Like, no, no, no. It seems like he's getting paid like, just a chunk of amount to just come out and write any stupid thing about Man City. And if you check it, all his tweets about Man City gets more, engagement than other things he writes. He can't write about Liverpool or Chelsea without getting like just 25 likes. But when he writes about Man City, like millions of likes and retweets, and our fan base needs to stop, engaging his tweets, because the thing it will bring more,
Yeah.
engagement. We just need to
Yeah, that's
stop
true. Yeah.
talking to the man is mad.
So the way I've dealt with those, so Patrick knows me. I don't give two about the media, English media. I think they're hypocritical. Most of them are some are really, really good, but most of them are just what I call fanzine journalists who are looking for clicks, and so I don't pay them any attention. Neither should we. But let's get to the topic of today.
Yeah.
I want to start off with one I can talk to Man United. So City just released their financial results, and for the year 2021-20, we had the most revenue for the all Premier League clubs, £569 million, with a profit of £2.4 million, the only club to make profits. And the reason why we were able to do that was for two reasons. One, our commercial revenue was good, which means that all the sponsors like the water, like the Etihad Airways and those sponsors were still there.
Yeah.
But the key increase was what we call is broadcast revenue. And that's because the reason why we beat United was because we got to the Champions League final.
Yes.
So we got more money because of that. And also we finished higher up the table of the Premier League. And so that broadcast revenue was £297 million, which took us beyond United, beyond Chelsea, beyond Liverpool. The matchday revenue was only £700,000, which is because of the COVID situation was limited. But because of the broadcast revenue that we're able to accrue and win because of Champions League and the Premier League and going for all the competitions, that's why we were number one in England for financial success last season, which is massive. The only club, I think, top four clubs actually declare a profit, £2.7 million out of all the clubs in England. Ade, welcome, man.
Hey, good to have me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Ade,
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Yes.
Nice
Yes.
outfit. Love the outfit.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Ade, we
coming in
have
from
for the first, Waneka is joining us all the way from Nigeria, correct? Or where are you, Waneka?
Yeah, from Nigeria. Hello,
There we
Ade.
go.
Oh, nice to hear from you, Waneka.
Yeah.
Am I saying
Ade,
that
Same
right,
here.
Waneka?
So let's talk about so welcome, Ade. So what are you guys hearing, Waneka, Ade, Patrick, about the pre-game noise from the media, from Chelsea fans, from Spaces about the game? How are they bigging themselves up for this game? What are you hearing in the background, the chatter about this game tomorrow? I'll start with Ade, with Waneka, and then Patrick.
No, we go to Waneka first since I'm a
Okay,
regular
great.
here. She's new, so we can go with her.
All right. Thank you. Right now with our form, people will say Man City will win. Just like the last game, everybody was shouting Chelsea, Chelsea because they were in hot form. So, but we ended up winning the game. Right now, if you ask anybody now, they will tell you Man City will win. But right now, we don't even know how the starting lineup will be like because we've not seen training peaks. They are keeping our COVID situation hush hush. Pep is keeping everything secret. So we don't even know how things are going to look like. But the preparation has been going on, as you know. Everybody is saying Man City. But Tuchel said the last game they had with us that he made a mistake, that they gave us too much respect. So he's going to change his game plan. I don't think he's but since Christensen has COVID, I think he's going to go with a back three because he has to protect Malangsa. People, the Chelsea fans, they've been hyping the guy up, but I don't see anything good in that defender. He just played against Spurs, and they thought he's the next thing since John Terry. Uh, uh, but he played against Tottenham. Tottenham, they always be Tottenham. So I think we are, as the people are talking more about Man City winning the game, but everybody, we just have to have that winning mentality. So I'm sure we are going to, Pep, as always, he has a plan, and I'm sure he's ready for Tuchel. And the noise everywhere is Man City are going to, come out on top, and I believe so.
Mm, mm. Ade, what are you hearing,
So I
man?
haven't really, like Juaneka was saying, I haven't really seen any. I usually get, like, when I go on Twitter, I can see like the training uh, pics and videos. I can kind of tell who's going to be playing. I don't know who's going to be playing. I don't believe. Well, this is just me. I don't believe any of the senior players are still going through COVID. I think we've had enough time to lapse where they can actually come back into the game if they had COVID when they said they did. But I don't know. But as far as the game plan, um, that I don't think it's anything we're worried about, to be honest. I mean,
Mm,
that they're touting it to be a big game. It's not a big game for City.
mm,
This
mhm,
is only a every game Chelsea plays from now to the end of the season is a big game for Chelsea because they
mm,
have to win.
mm,
There's no
Yeah.
pressure in City. We have we're ahead by 10 points.
mm,
So we can afford to lose two games. Not saying that we're going to, but we can afford to. So the pressure is on them. And they also, I mean, Tuchel knows the way he played us last time. He can't do that if they want to get a result. You can't play nine defensive players and all sit in your half. They're going to come out. They're going to come out and want to play football. But that's
mm.
also playing
Yes.
into their hand. When you come out and play football with City, you're playing into their hands because they want you to do that because they want to play around you. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a difficult balance for Tuchel to change his strategy from what he had before and what he has been doing consistently all season, which is being really defensive when he plays the top teams. When he plays the lower teams, like the mid-table teams, he does go and attack and they do all that. But when they play the big teams, they pretty much play on the back foot. So it's an adjustment he has to make. We just got
yeah,
to go out there and play football and let the cards fall
Yes.
in swing. There's no pressure on us to do anything special in this game. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't count this as a big game. I'm not even worried about it. Whatever the result is. The one team that I had any kind of fear for was Liverpool, but we've seen that Liverpool without Mane and Salah and Naby Keita really have no bite. So I'm not concerned about this game that much.
yeah. I mean, I was on a space today, Twitter space today, with Patrick, and there was one Chelsea fan, and I have a lot of friends who are Chelsea fans. My best friends are Chelsea fans, both here and in Nigeria, so it's mutual respect for what both teams. But there are some of them, like there are some in this City fan base who are just absolutely off their rocker. I mean, this guy was just going. You would have thought that they were 10 points ahead and 11 plus 11 goals ahead. This guy was just talking absolute garbage. I'm like, dude, you do realize that, at the start of the season, you guys and the media all said this season, because of Lukaku, because of all these players, it's your title. City don't have a striker, they don't have this, they don't have that. City is probably going to finish third. Now we're halfway through the season, anything could happen.
Yeah.
But here we are, halfway through, and they're 10 points ahead, 11 plus 11 goals. And I said, look, while Chelsea are a very good team, there's no doubt they're a very, very good team.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, they're a cup team. And that's not a negative, right? That's saying that the way they're structured, the way they play a 3-4-3 or 3-4-5-2 is brilliant for cups. Win a one-off game in a cup, you get through and you win. In a league game, when you're playing against a Liverpool or a City who play 4-3-3 expansive, it's very hard to keep that role for 38 games, which is why for the top four, against United, against Liverpool, against City, Chelsea have not won one game
Yeah.
of all the top four. Even West Ham,
Mm.
they haven't won one game. Now, against the smaller teams that one-off game, they can beat them. But against the big boys, they haven't yet won game. They have 2 points out of like 9 points against the top 4 or 5. Now,
Yes.
win tomorrow, they could because it's a one-off game. But for 38 games league, it's going to be very, very hard to play like that for 38 games and win. And this guy was just completely off his rocker, talking about like, dude, I ain't arguing with you, man. Just look at the facts.
Yeah.
Right? Start of the season, City were 6 points behind you. City have not gone 16 points more than you've accrued in the same games over time. So, I mean, Patrick, what are you hearing, man? Are you hearing anything?
No, man, I was just listening to few people on spaces, at the end of the day when there's a big match like this, everybody's on space, talking their on stuff, trying to bring their knowledge to all the games. Majority of the time on the spaces, people were not talking about the actual match. They were deflecting, throwing things elsewhere, saying, "Oh, City have an advantage because of COVID, no COVID cases." Now, the one thing that's annoying me, Ade and Waneka and Carl, which I have seen on TV, is Klopp and Tuchel now, right, have started not talking about their own games. They started talking about City and COVID cases. They say we're so lucky that we did not have enough COVID cases and we didn't have enough injuries. That's why things are the way they are. Now, for the past weeks, we've been missing players. Yes, we are keeping quiet. We're not actually saying it out to the media who has COVID cases. We're not crying like the rest of the league. But I've noticed Tuchel and Klopp now see that they've been defeated somehow. Or I know it's not over yet, but they feel like they've been defeated. The only thing they're talking about in the media, even when they're talking about when the journalists ask them that, what about you? What's with your cases? They are diverting it to City. So that's what Tuchel said today. Apparently, he said, we have been so lucky. We've been the luckiest team. But I haven't seen anybody lucky. We had Zinchenko out. We had Foden out. We've had everybody out. We have Gundogan out on injury. We've had De Bruyne injured. We've had COVID cases when we've played weaker teams, but we've managed ourselves to survive. So, look, that's what I'm hearing from the media. And this is actually becoming something popular. But the good thing about the media is I think they've stopped catching that. I remember I was watching ESPN and somebody said Tuchel and Klopp should stop making excuses. It doesn't matter if there's COVID or not. You just have to know how to manage your squad. Because let's not lie to ourselves. This is what I wanted to say on the space, Carl. Everybody keeps saying, oh, these guys, their squad is always sharp. What stops you from your squad being sharp? Your coaches, right, have favorites, and they're not rotating. Pep rotates every week on my fantasy team. I'm crying. I'm like, why? Where is Jesus? Where is so-and-so? But Jesus was very good last week. Guess what? He rotates. Why, if you look at Tuchel, it's the same people. He forces them over and over again. Saul is a baller. I'm sorry people keep saying Saul is bad. He's not bad. He's a baller. But give him games. Give him like 20 minutes. Oxlade-Chamberlain, give him 20 minutes. These players will help you. Somebody said Minamino has to be binned. No, don't lie to me. That guy is a talented player. It's just the fact that your coach plays Milner instead of playing Minamino, giving him a chance. Origi is on the bench. Why don't you give Origi 20 minutes? Why don't you give Curtis Jones 20 minutes? Why should you always play Henderson, this and this, or who this? Why should you always just post Kante? Why don't you rotate with Kovacic? And the Kovacic after that, Saul, Kovacic, Jorginho. You've got 4 midfielders. You can rotate over. But no, what does your coach do? He plays the same guys until they're tired or injured, and then he starts thinking, oh, Saul, save us. Like, that's unfair. I don't know about you, Carl. If I was a coach, even I'm not a coach, but I'm pretty sure it's normal. If I keep playing the same team, they're going to get fatigued. They're going to get injured. So why should I expect, let's say Adi is a sub, right? Why should I expect Adi to come in and just be sharp? You know what I mean? You haven't played him for months. You haven't even given him 10 minutes in a game when you're winning 4-0. So, guys, stop crying about this whole thing that the only reason why City are doing well is because the squad is sharper. You can make the squad sharper. Why don't you make Oxlade-Chamberlain sharper by playing him 20 minutes? If you knew Salah and Mane are going, why were you not giving Oxlade-Chamberlain and Minamino minutes, 20 minutes when you're in the game? You were not. Your coach kept on playing the same people, and he plays Milner, who's 50 years old now, I'm pretty sure. He can't run anymore, but you keep playing him. So that's why I keep hearing from the opposition teams, because their coaches have started making excuses about COVID. But look, in this game, everybody has been hit by COVID. Everybody's struggling with injuries, but it's just that Pep has figured out a way to do managing the players in a way where he knows that if I call Raheem, he's sharp because I played him 20 minutes last week. If I call Foden, he's sharp because he played the last game. And if I call Mahrez, he's already sharp because he played the cup game. That's what it is, man.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, Certified just joined us. Certified, how are you, man? Just joined us. Certified is another guy who I follow as well. We follow each other. He's also a City fan. And Certified, how are you, bro? Certified, you there?
Lost him.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. How you
There we go. There we go. There we go. Were you on the Spaces this morning when we talked? Were you there when some guy from Chelsea was? Oh, we hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. So let's talk about what we think Chelsea is going to do in terms of setup and systems. Certified, I'll come to you in a minute.
In that space.
Oh man, you heard it?
Yeah,
having bad
man, I
days.
heard it, bro.
Am I the one who can hear him?
Some of the stuff that was
crazy. It was crazy. I couldn't believe my ears. It was, but it is what it is. That's what we get. But let's talk about what we think Chelsea going to. So over the past 3 games, Chelsea have played Tottenham twice. They played Brighton, and I want to share what they've done, the system that they've used. Just give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen. Let's share entire screen. Let's see. Let me know when you can see my screen. Hold on a sec.
Jesus, you're not sharing the whole. You're sharing the whole thing.
Hold on. There. Yeah. Okay. Let me know where you get.
Yeah, we can see it.
Stop. Here we go. So when they played, let's pull this up. Here we go. So when we played them, they played it. Oh, sorry. Okay. When they played Tottenham the first leg, here's what they played, right? A 4-2-2-2 system. They also played Tottenham the same system again 2 days ago, which kind of lead. And the reason they played out because they don't have the wing backs. The wing backs are basically out. So what's his name? Chilwell and what's the guy? Reece James are out because they're injured. So they had to change the system and play this 4-2-2-2. They also played against Tottenham in the second leg. Now, against Brighton, they played a 4-3-1, right? But I think the reason they play this system is because they're forced to play because they don't have those wing backs. And Aspi and Alonso are not quick enough to play in that 3-4-3 wing back system up and down. So they changed to this system. And I think they're trying this out for the game tomorrow. I think they're going to play the system for the game tomorrow. And I wrote about this on Twitter the other day. I said there's some advantages of this system and some disadvantages of this system. The reason why you play a 4-2-2-2 is because in the middle of the park, right here in the middle of the park, the idea is to force the turnover, narrow the field, force the turnover in the middle of the park, and transition quickly, right? The problem with this system is that if you have a team that is able to keep possession of the ball and play the ball and keep possession, it completely destroys the system because you can use the flanks, you can use the center of the park, you can overload the middle of the park easily and pin their fullbacks back. So I think what Tuchel's trying to do if he plays the system is to try and force City into a mistake and transition, win the ball high and transition by counter-pressing them. What City have to do is put the ball in the fridge. That is, don't turn over the ball, keep possession, switch play left and right, and disrupt this 4 or this 2-2-2 to become almost single overloads all over the whole field. I think this is what he's going to do tomorrow, guys, because he has Alonso. I think they have Rudiger. I think they have Sarr. I don't know if Saul Niguez is going to play or not. Probably not. Probably Kovacic is going to come in. I think they're going to have Cho and Mount, Lukaku, and probably either Havertz or what's the other guy's name? Or Werner. What do you guys think?
Honestly, I don't. Go ahead.
I was about to just add something. Sorry, Adi. I'll just let you speak, but I just want to say something. This formation, though, is bad because once somebody just bypasses your midfield, your defense is in trouble. Am I right? I think once somebody just bypasses your midfield, your defense is under ropes. I think that's when you saw it in the Spurs game. That's what I'm going to just say anyway. Adi, go ahead.
None of this matters to how City plays football. That's the problem. I'm not even trying to be a wise guy. It doesn't matter because when City possess the ball, City's going to have a good chunk of the possession. This only matters if you're on the front foot. If you're on the front foot, this whole fancy 4-2-2 or whatever the hell they play works when you're on the front foot. But when you're on the defensive, all this is compressed into your half. So whatever they think is a 4-2-2 is not going to look anywhere near a 4-2-2. You're going to have guys running everywhere. You're going to have it's going to be flat out. You're going to have Havertz going here, Lukaku going here. They're going to try to stay as forward as they can, but they're going to realize they need to provide help for their defenders. So they're going to fall back into their half and they're going to defend for a large period of the game. They will have transitions, but the fastest guy on their team you really have to worry about is Romeo Lukaku, and he's very strong. So when they have counterattack, which they will get, we're going to lose the ball. I mean, that's a normal part of football. We're going to lose the ball in some instances, and who can get the ball to Romeo Lukaku the fastest? It's most likely Jorginho or Mount, in my opinion. Those are the people that are going to try to get him the ball.
Or
But we're going to have. Oh, yeah, if I don't see Kovacic in the list, I was just going by the guys in the list. But you're right,
Okay.
So those are the guys that are going to try to get the ball. What we just have to be disciplined on is my guy Walker and what's his name, Zinchenko. I don't know. I think Cancelo will play. They just got to be smart, and that's the only where I have a little bit of doubt with Cancelo. Him realizing I'm a defender and I need to help out. But I don't. This whole lineup, it doesn't matter if they're not on the front foot. If they're on the front foot in this game, if they're going to come out and attack us like wave after wave after wave, like Arsenal did, yes, I'll be concerned about this 4-2-2.
So certified. Any haven't spoken yet. I'll come to you, Neka, in a minute. Certified.
I don't think certified's on anymore. I think he's
okay. Neka, I mean, this is what they played against Tottenham, which I think they were again. I don't think the guy. I think the guy's trying the system out because he knows that he wants to play against us on Saturday. What do you think? Based on what you saw, what do you think?
Yeah, based on what Ade said, the pressure is on Chelsea. So they don't need to sit back. They would like to attack and score to win. So they won't sit back. Yes, I think they're going to use this formation. And he has been trying it out. And he's trying it out on Tottenham. Okay, he hasn't tried it out on Man City. So, and they're going to be all over the places, trying to attack. And we're going to hold that possession. As long as we have possession, we're going to play really well. And I've been praying for them to, play a back four. If that match they played against Tottenham, Rudiger, I know he scored and all that, but he struggled. If they can play this formation, they are going to have a very serious problem. And Thiago, he's 37, that he's getting old. He just came back from COVID situation and he's still recovering. So I think we're going to have a field day if they can play this formation. The only thing they're going to have against us is all these counter attacks, all these Kovacic passes. Kovacic is, when that guy had that injury, they missed Kovacic. That guy is very good. His passes to Lukaku, they have this chemistry. If he is one person that can reach out to Lukaku, and when he gets that ball, it's very dangerous. So I think they're going to use this formation. So but I'm still. I think we're going to survive. It's Man City.
So there was a game I watched where United also plays kind of system, right? Remember the Wolves United game? I don't know if you guys watched it. So United plays kind of system, but Wolves beat them, and Wolves beat them because Wolves kept the ball. They kept possession of the ball. They kept switching the ball from left to right, attacking the left side where there was no one. And when United now moved their 4-2-2 to that side, they switched the play to the other side. But they kept possession of the ball. The idea behind this 4-2-2 is to counter press. So RB Leipzig played the system very, very well, which is why in the game in the Champions League, they beat us with this formation because, one, we went up to it, and two, they counter pressed us really, really well and scored. That's why we scored 6, they scored 3. We went there and we lost 2-1. This is what they basically play. And so I think this is what this guy's trying to do. He's trying to create this system. But the problem is you're leaving the already tried and trusted back three that they play with, and you're playing Aspi or Alonso in a back four and Rudiger in the back four. And Rudiger struggles in a back four. So it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of plays out against a possession-based Man City as a whole. I think, Wanik, your point about Kovacic is absolutely spot on. I really like the player. I think he's very, very, very good. I think his direct passing is very, very crisp. He works hard off the ball. I think he's the one that we need to look out for. I think if we can neutralize him, I think we have a more than equal chance to get there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Patrick just shared with any other thoughts on this, Patrick? Any thoughts on what you think they can do? How they're going to line up?
This is the same thing Ogaranik wanted to play, isn't it? Is this not what he's trying to do? The Dawn the Don Dada of football, the godfather, the one who taught Tuchel and Klopp. So basically, Tuchel is following his father's formation, isn't it? Ragnick, 4-2-2-2-2. But somebody said this, that it's a very risky formation. I remember when United were playing. Look, I'm not trying to say United players are the same as Chelsea. I think Chelsea have got better players, but I don't know. This formation, it's not. I'm not a fan of it. As I said, this is a formation where as soon as you get bypassed in the midfield and flooded, you're done for. And especially Rudiger in the back four, like I'm enjoying him being exposed because he's panicking. I think Waneka said it on her post saying, "I can see Rudiger is getting exposed now." I think you posted this on Twitter saying exposed in the Spurs game in the back four, which everybody I think wants to see, because I kept on telling Chelsea people that your coach keeps playing a back four, a back five because he's scared, or a back three with the wing backs because he's scared of your defenders. They can't stand in the back four, so you can't be saying your defenders are the best and putting them out there, because it's people like Van Dijk and Diaz, Laporte, John Stones, Matip, who sit in the back four and make it stable. While Rudiger, I don't think he can command the back four. I have seen him hold 6 against City when he was in the back four. Let's not forget, remember, he held 6. He held 6. It was 6-0
Yes.
with no response, and he was there. And
That's
the
true,
same
that's true,
keeper,
that's true.
it's the same keeper, Chelsea. Be careful, it's the same keeper too. It's the same keeper who held 6.
That's
So
true.
look, for me, I think I'm more scared of Chelsea when they're in the back three, or a 5 when it becomes a 5. I'm not scared of them when they're in this formation, because I know now. I know you hate inverted wingers, Carl, but I think even inverted wingers can have a field day with this. So that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, the lineup, I just popped up the lineup to you there. I don't know if people are gonna agree, but I think that's the best lineup I could come up with the players we have.
Well, let's go to that, and let's get Certified is back. Certified, you there? Can we hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me now, guys?
Oh, good man, good man. Yeah, I mean, so we talked about Chelsea's potential formation. We talked about the fact that they're probably going to have to play that 4-2-2-2 because they don't have Chilwell and Reece James, who to me are probably two of their best players. Their assets to counter you on the as fullbacks. I think Aspi and Alonso are too slow and too old to play that kind of system again. So I think they're gonna play that 4-2-2-2 because they played against Tottenham twice. But let's talk about our own formation. I'll pull up. Patrick sent me what he thinks the formation is going to be, and let's talk about what that is going to be. I'll share my screen again, and then we can talk about it. Let me know where you can see my screen. Share, and then we'll go here, and there we go. Okay.
Yeah,
So so the back four, we don't know who's has COVID. We don't know. We can make some assumptions. We know Rodri's coming back from COVID, so he's not going to have it again. We know De Bruyne's coming back from COVID. Foden's coming back from COVID, so they should be available. Sterling's coming back, so he should be available. Walker's coming back too. We don't know if Diaz, Cancelo, Edison's coming back from COVID, so he should be okay. But we don't know about Gundo or Bernardo. So, but let's talk about the back four. Does anybody think that we should change the back four from what we have right now?
No.
If Stones was fit, then yeah, but I don't think he's fit. So I think that's the best that we can do right now.
Let's talk about Stones, Adi and Certified. Stones or Laporte? Who are you having? If
Stones all day. I think Stones all day, man.
Stones.
Why would you have him?
Laporte is better for this game. Stones is better. Laporte is better generally because of his distribution and because he's better with his left leg and he can distribute the ball to Cancelo well, or he can just playing with his left foot gives him an advantage. He's, however, very indisciplined. I've noticed lately when it comes to defense. His defensive posture isn't good. He's always fouling. Like he's lunging and he's fouling and he's bringing people down. He's done it in several games. He did it with the game against Crystal Palace. He did it again recently with a guy yellow card. It's just that
Brentford too. He got one.
Yeah, he does it a lot of games. Like, see, the guys are talking about it. So I don't like that, especially if you're playing against a guy like Lukaku. You're going to do a lot of that, and it doesn't take much for you to get 2 yellows, and then you're sent off. Yeah. We need somebody strong physically. Yes, his distribution won't be as good. I would pick Stones. I don't know about his health issue, but I'm with G Certified that I would go with Stones if Stones is healthy. Stones and Diaz, that's a perfect combination right there. But if
'Cause
we
you
have
know-
Laporte, we don't have a
Yes.
choice.
No, sorry, Ed, just to go on that point, because you know what it is, right? No, because I don't want to seem like I'm bashing, obviously, my own player, like Laporte. Obviously, I rate him, but I just think that it's just at the end of the day, I think we're just playing them because we don't want them to leave. And I think that's not a good idea. You should have the mindset that if you want to play him, because he deserves to be in that. Obviously, he deserves to be there over Nathan Ake. But if he's fit and he's available, I just think that Stones, he can also play out from the back. And I think they have a better partnership. And I think that John Stones is a better complementary centre back. I think Laporte maybe is better as the main centre back when he has to be the main guy. Maybe that's when he performs better. Maybe he has more pressure and he performs on that level. But ever since he knows that Diaz is the main, like we haven't kept a clean sheet. I've even kept a clean sheet in the Champions League. Maybe one. Like we haven't even kept that many clean sheets in the Champions League. Obviously, Premier League's different story though. So they need to fix up.
Yeah. I'm with G certified. And sorry, just one last point. I'll let Neka go after this. Especially if you have Cancelo on the left. We know Cancelo is very weak defensively. So you having Laporte over there where he's not really paying attention to detail and having Cancelo that you know is going to venture forward because it's going to be part of the attack, that's just not a good combination, especially Lukaku is going to be in that area. So that just doesn't seem like a good idea. But if we have no choice, then we got to go with Laporte. But I would take Nathan Ake actually over him. But Nweka, you can. Nwaneka, you can.
Neka, question for you. Is Kyle Walker the most underrated fullback in the Premier League?
Yeah. Yes, he's so underrated. Like since he came to Man City, he has been doing well. He might not be extravagant like Trent and Cancelo, but he's a defender. He's doing what a defender does.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, he's doing so well. He's so underrated.
Walker is the best defensive fullback in the EPL. Period.
Yeah. Mike, welcome. We have Michael on the show too. Michael, welcome, man.
Okay.
So
I'm not sure about you, but I don't know about you guys, but would you say Kyle Walker's maybe the best in the world defensively as a fullback?
I didn't want to go there for a G, but you know what I mean. Like if you say it, I'm not gonna stop you, but I ain't gonna say it though.
If you think about it, he's pocketed.
He is, man. Let's be honest. He is. Who is better defensively than Walker?
Let me just put this out there. He pocketed Mbappe. Everybody had Mbappe's gonna do blah blah blah. He put him in his pocket. Mbappe went to the left side of the field to get his goal. He pocketed Haaland. Who else? Anybody. He puts
Neymar.
Mane.
So
Mane, Salah.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm glad G certified said it. I didn't say it.
I'm looking for my guy.
Don't shoot the messenger, man. Don't shoot the messenger.
What happened to the lineup, Carl?
I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it again. I'm looking for it. Hold on a second.
I'm here.
Yeah, but let me share. Okay. There we go. We also have Adam. Adam, welcome, man.
Hey, Adam.
Let me get this this thingy opened up again, and we'll talk through it.
It's a full squad today.
Who's G
The full squad
certified?
today. G certified is a wonderful guy, City fan in the UK. He's so smooth. He's so cool. When G certified is on Spaces,
Oh no,
like
I've been listening. I've been listening to him on Twitter. That's why I had to join because them Laporte and Stones analysts. I agree with them stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So
you see, the thing is, I think Laporte is a better defender, solid, like an overall defender. I think Laporte is better. I think the way Manchester City play suits Stones, and against a team like Chelsea, I would put Stones in, even though I'm a bigger Laporte guy, because he will help with the fluidity of the game and playing out from the back with the high pressing that Chelsea would do. Yeah. Stones would be perfect. But on the other hand, Laporte is a guy is susceptible to mistakes, you know what I mean? And you don't need to make him mistakes in certain key games. And it's a fact. If you check Laporte's stats,
I agree.
He's very susceptible to mistakes. And now I'm going to say this. Whoever said Kyle Walker is the best fullback in the league, let me tell you this. Kyle Walker is very similar. He's very susceptible to mistake. But the thing is, he has a speed who always gets him out of trouble.
That's all you need.
Check his games.
That's all you need.
It's all you need. But I'm saying it's the same thing, similar. But he's better with his
Those
speed,
guys
and he
can't
always gets himself
recover.
with a trouble.
You just said it, Jermichael. Those guys can't recover. Kyle Walker can recover from his mistakes.
Oh yeah,
you
I
know
agree.
what, Mike? You know what surprised me was in the games against PSG, Walker against Mbappe. Mbappe gave up after a while.
Yeah, he gave up.
Mbappe moved to the left.
He gave up.
To the left back.
Chelsea perspective. I see your comment. We'll see tomorrow.
So anyway,
but the thing is, what I wanted to talk about, because I think I asked Carlo in our WhatsApp group earlier if you think Cancelo should start at left back or Zinchenko.
I'm doing Cancelo. I think Cancelo.
For me, Cancelo,
I think Cancelo been playing good at left back, but with this formation that Chelsea is about to play, with the technical brilliance of Zinchenko, I think he would do a really good job if he was slotting. Just the technical brilliance and just a tactical approach with Zinchenko would make it a masterclass.
No, but Mikey, I disagree with that, because for me, if we play Zinchenko there, he will be the target that Chelsea will end up going for.
Absolutely.
They'll end up telling Lukaku, listen, Lukaku, go with the weakest link, and Lukaku will go.
But what I'm saying is Diaz is going to deal with Lukaku unless Lukaku go move to the right wing. But what I'm saying is, just like what Carlos said earlier, we have to keep it in the fridge. Like, we don't make silly mistakes. You know what I mean? Zinchenko, to me, would be perfect if they play this formation. Now, if they switch the formation up, Cancelo all day. But this formation, the 2-2-2-2-2-2 stuff they got going on, they're gonna have Manchester City gonna have a field day with them.
They're probably gonna end up playing their 3-4 whatever formation that they normally play.
I don't think they're gonna play Lukaku. They're gonna play a false nine system.
Adam and Mike, let's give you the floor. What happened? Where's Rodri? I don't recognize this person that we have right now. Who is this person? Is it Rodri's brother that's playing right now?
I don't know, but this man, hey, I don't know what he's eating, but this man is like, just see
channeling his inner Busquets. I mean, my man channeling his inner Busquets right now.
Adam, go ahead. Yeah.
A boy look good. He looked good. He looked good.
Adam, hold on, Mike.
Yeah,
Adam,
like what I was saying, like watching Rodri is like, it reminds you of like the Busquets and Iniesta, like just the intricate passes that he does. Like literally, when you sit back and you think to yourself, that reminds you of the good old days of Busquets.
You know, Michael, I like it's interesting because I remember like last year we were complaining that Fernandinho, Rodri's not right. Rodri's too slow.
I was one of them.
We don't. But something happened to it. This is what we talk about, right? When you talk about Jack Grealish, for example, that give these people time under the Guardiola system. It takes time to adapt. The only person I know who adapted on day one is Diaz. And maybe Diaz, maybe because Diaz is a defender, so it's easy for him just to tackle and block. But when you're playing him in the midfield role or as a striker role, it's so hard to play that system that Guardiola has in place, which has given which means that Rodri has to take time to get adapted to.
That's why with me, I'm not gonna judge Grealish within his first season. Give him up to after next season, then yes, you can question him. But the man just literally, I get that he came for a big fee. I understand that, but you gotta understand, wasn't it Riyad Mahrez? How much did Riyad Mahrez come for? 65 or 75 million. Even though Riyad Mahrez came from Leicester and also from a Premier League team. You gotta understand that these two teams have two different systems, and as a player, a front forward in a Pep system, you are demanded a lot. And as a player, it takes you a while to adapt to it. So, and I don't blame Grealish. It'll take him time. Maybe after next season, he'll become like what Riyad Mahrez has become. It took Riyad Mahrez after the second season to become better.
But this is my opinion with them. All right, I know players coming to Manchester City, especially playing for Guardiola, takes time to adapt. No, it's okay because when Mahrez came, Mahrez was still playing in his favorite position on the right wing, inverted, chopping in, chopping out. Okay, but Grealish is not a left winger, and let me tell you this: I'm a Grealish fan. Grealish need a deeper role. You know what I mean? Where he can string passes and string play and glide with the ball and travel with the ball. That's what he loves to do. But him being up there and the last man up there, he needs somebody to play to.
No, but I've got a question for you, Mikey. If you're gonna do that, then who would you drop? Then who would you drop?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Gundogan and Bernardo is undroppable. And I think that's the two best position he can play in. But the thing is, I think when we're rotating, like when we're resting Gundogan or Bernardo, I think Pep Guardiola should give him a chance to play there. Like try him out. You know what I mean? And just stop putting him on the left wing. We see him on the left wing. We know he can cope with some team and he cannot cope with the others. But try him in his best position, because I know we never buy him to play him on left wing or right wing or center forward.
Mike, I think you're right. I think one of the things I've noticed is David Silva started on the wings and moved central, right? What Pep does sometimes is that he will start you on the left side of the wings, and when he's confident you can actually play central, like Foden, he cannot bring you central, because to him the middle of the field is the most important part of the field, the engine of the field, the midfield, right? Which is why he trusts Bernardo, he trusts Gundogan and Rodri to play that three. When you play Jack Grealish, because he doesn't understand the system well enough yet, he may struggle and lose the ball. So let's give him time to see what happens over time. I think ultimately he's going to replace Gundogan in the middle of the park.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm telling everybody,
is it me or is it when Grealish is on the ball, he tends to slow the ball? Is it me or have I just read that?
What I hear, Adam, is that he's been told to do that. Right? He's been told to keep the ball, look for the open man and pass the ball. Don't lose the ball. That's what he's been told to do. So while we get frustrated when he runs and he stops, that's what he's been instructed to do. You know, Pep, if you don't do what he said, you're off the team. Yeah. Now, Foden, on the other hand, is instructed to go for and be dynamic on the left-hand side and use his space and trickery to get into the box and score a goal. But let's talk about the front five for the game tomorrow. Waneka and Certified, let's come to you. Is there any debate about Bernardo and Gundo starting in the middle of the park with Rodri? Anybody else you can think of? Or should De Bruyne and Gundo play in the middle of the park?
No, I always like De Bruyne up front. I like him up front. I like Bernardo in the midfield, where we can be dishing out his.
What's the reason for that? Give us a reason for that. Why do you think that?
Yeah, if you remember the match against Liverpool at Anfield, Bernardo ran the show in that midfield. His distributions were excellent. So if Chelsea can play that formation against us, we need Bernardo to distribute those balls to De Bruyne or Sterling. You know, when Sterling stays in his favorite position at the right wing, his runs can be, magnificent. You just give him the ball. So if Bernardo is there, he can just, all those crisp passes. It can make a lot of sense for Foden and for De Bruyne. And De Bruyne, once he's in the final third, he can be very clinical. So I like this formation. I like him up front, and I like Bernardo in that midfield with Gundogan to hold up the tempo in that midfield. So I like it that way.
Certified, coming to you, right? There's an argument to say that what De Bruyne offers us, the dynamism, the quick passing, the long passing, the quarterback style. Bernardo offers more control, short passing. Do you think it's riskier to put De Bruyne in the middle of the park against Chelsea in a 4-2-2 where they want to transition the ball?
I think, when it comes to KDB, because he's arguably, even though Bernardo's been the best this season, he's still the best midfielder. And I think that on his day, you're going to need a guy to take those risks, especially against Chelsea, because we're not, even though the stats might say otherwise, we all know that we're not really that clinical. And, sometimes the goals, we can be clinical, but we're not as clinical as what we used to be. And we can miss a few chances here and there. And it's not always going to be rosy, especially against this team. So we need that guy to take the risks and to make those passes that nobody else can be able to make. But Bernardo Silva, if he's there, he starts. If he's there, he starts. But it's Gundogan who I think will be dropped. If that's who I think will be dropped, even though I rate Gundogan, I think that this game you've got to start KDB. I just think
I've got a plot twist. How about this? What if Pep decides to do this, like where he ends up putting Bernardo in the false nine, and he puts Gundogan and not De Bruyne, sorry, in Bernardo's position? What? Imagine Pep does that. What do you think? Do you think he'll do that, where he'll put Bernardo as the false nine, and then KDB with Gundogan and Rodri?
I just think it takes so much out of the game.
Yeah. So
let's think about that.
Adam, let's take 1 second to think about why this system will work, in my opinion, and maybe Sterling or Jesus. So if Chelsea play a 4-2-2-2-2, right? So they have two strikers up front, right? They have two strikers up front. What normally happens in the game is that Cancelo, who plays the left side, normally tucks into midfield, right? So all of a sudden now you have how many midfielders you have? You're gonna have Cancelo, Bernardo, Gundo, and Rodri as a 4 in midfield, counter pressing Chelsea's middle 4, 2-2-2. And the front two of Chelsea have to deal with 3 of Laporte, Diaz, and Walker. So if they play that 4-2-2-2 system, we now have 4v4 in the midfield, but we have 1 extra defender playing against their 2 strikers. So literally overload the middle of the park, which is why I think that Cancelo's role is going to be so critical tomorrow in the game. And we need Bernardo to control that midfield with Gundogan.
And the weakest link in that Chelsea midfield is out of those ones, out of the 3 is Jorginho for me. The weakest link out of that is Kovacic. He's good, and Antonio Conte, Kante, he's good as well. But the weakest link in that Chelsea side, is that Jorginho and Alonso. Because for me, if Raheem Sterling comes up against Alonso, any of the day, Raheem Sterling's gonna. If Raheem Sterling gets the chance to go past Alonso could easily just end up fouling him, and then Sterling gets a free kick or a penalty. The way Alonso is sometimes.
So Michael and I did. So we talked about, we think Bernardo will start, Rodri will start, Gundo will start, De Bruyne will start. Now we're left with Foden, Grealish, Sterling, or Jesus.
All right. So the fact that Adam just mentioned the Gundogan and Bernardo in Fast 9 and get KDB. Now I'm thinking about it. Normally when Pep playing these big games, he always uses these players. I never thought about it until now. All these players are going to rotate. Okay. So now I'm thinking about it. We still can play Foden left, Sterling right, Bernardo center, Gundogan and KDB. Now this gives Bernardo the option to drop deep, and KDB can go in the false 9 position. This can even allow Bernardo to swing right and Sterling come in center. Depends on how the flow of the play is. Now, all of these players are capable of interchanging in all of those 5 positions, and this will confuse Chelsea. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to be the approach for tomorrow, but it's possible because we've seen it before.
So Jesus doesn't start for us, guys. Nobody's starting Jesus.
Yeah, see, but Jesus is good, but all the other players I call right now, I think is in better form. Probably except Kevin. I think Kevin De Bruyne is in better form than him. Like all the other players are in better form than Jesus. And if anyone should drop based on what I just said, I think would be Jesus would be left out if they go with that approach.
So I think the starting lineup, I'm going to disagree with probably everyone. Jesus is going to start on the right. There's a chance that when they make the subs, Sterling will come in, but Sterling always switches position because I think he prefers being on the left. But Jesus is going to start because if you look at the games we've played this year, Jesus in his winger role plays exceptional. And even Pep mentions it at the end of the game. He's exceptional in that role as a winger. When he plays as a striker is when he's not as efficient, which is what Pep has realized and why he plays him right on the right. So Jesus will start on the right. Foden, I'm not sure about this one. I think Foden gives us better attacking options than Grealish does. Grealish holds the ball well, gets a lot of fouls. He can draw a lot of fouls. If that's what we're going for, then I think maybe he plays Grealish. But I think Foden, so that's a toss-up, whether Foden or Grealish start on the left. De Bruyne is the false 9. De Bruyne roams a lot. So I don't see him staying there. He won't stay as a as a striker, but he'll roam a lot. I don't see it, but we'll see how that works out. Bernardo is going to start. I think Gundo starts. Rodri, of course, in the back 4, I think you have right. But I'm pretty sure Jesus is going to start on the right. Pretty sure.
Yeah, the interesting.
No. That's my original lineup. My original front 3 is Foden, Sterling, and Jesus. I was just throwing that idea in there because Adam threw it in the air, and I just mobilized it. That's it.
Well, the good thing about this is that this is a good problem to have, right? We don't know we don't know which one of the 5.
Don't know.
We have a front 5 that can rotate back and forth. And the beauty about this game, it's so perfectly set up, is because
who's fit for tomorrow? Because apparently there's some of the first team players have COVID. So
yeah, we'll find out who they are tomorrow. But the reality is that Chelsea have to be the protagonists. They have to come out and actually play. They can't afford to draw the game, because if they draw the game, it's 10 points and 1 less game to catch up. So they have to come and which
and I
should
think
be
this is where we're gonna win mentally, because they know they have to come at us tomorrow. Okay? And that will leave the game open. Now I always say any team that comes to play Manchester City will get demolished, like tactically, and we gonna win. Okay? They have to play, because they cannot play for a draw, so they have to play for a win.
So certified. Here's what's going to happen. I predict what's going to happen, and let me know if you think it's right. Chelsea are going to come for the first 20 minutes. They're going to sit back. They're going to sit back. 25 minutes. Try to keep it to 0-0 till halftime. Then 60 minutes they begin to open up. That's what they're going to try and do. So because Chelsea don't concede, I think they only conceded one goal in the first 25 minutes of every single game. Right? We've scored many of our goals in the first 25 minutes of the game. So the idea is trying to keep City at bay for the first 25 to 30 minutes. Frustrate them, keep it 0-0. Then hopefully in after the break, let's try and hit them on the break because they want to push forward. That's what I think is going to be their strategy tomorrow morning. What do you think?
What we also got to be careful of is that we don't give away stupid free kicks. Because to be honest with you, Chelsea are good when it comes to set pieces, especially Rudiger. If he has a good delivery, he was scored, especially against when I was watching the Tottenham game. The delivery that he was given, it was a good one. And if he's given the perfect delivery in that against us tomorrow, and we give away a stupid free kick, then it will be a goal.
Okay.
For me, it's the fullbacks, man. It's the fact that Chelsea won't have Chilwell and Reece James, where I'm a bit more confident because there's no guarantee, obviously. But Marcus Alonso, I know obviously last season he scored all that stuff, but listen, when you're relying on a system and you're missing arguably your two key players, it's like if Liverpool didn't play. Obviously, Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold are way back. But it's like if they don't play those two, they're obviously gonna feel it. And I think Chelsea are going to feel it again. I don't think we're going to thrash them, but I think we are going to win. Maybe even if it's 1-0, 2-0. I just think that because they are going to sit back, they're going to try and hit us on the counter. But I think we'll just end up either they'll try and counter, then we'll win the ball and score from them trying to counter us, or we'll just.
But good news is that we don't have to we don't have Mendy in goal. We have that useless Kepa in goal.
Oh, you got Kepa, man. He's not even good.
Mendy, I call him a lamppost. Like legit, he would just stand in one place. All he has to do is stick his arm out, and then he's saved it.
Yeah,
just want to say we have some guys on the chat. We have the whole city from the Mancunian Way. Welcome to the show, Mancunian Way. He's a massive fan of City, of course, and he's a local, and he supports us. He says that. Laporte and Diaz, unfortunately, are the number one pairing. Unfortunately, no idea what's going on with Stones. Must be vaccine related. Who knows about that, man? Who knows about that? Chelsea perspective says, I honestly don't think Lukaku will start. I agree with you, Chelsea perspective. I agree with you. And I agree with you because I think that if you play Lukaku, it gives Diaz and Laporte a central target to mark. I think if you play a 3-4-3 and play three strikers, Havertz, Werner, and somebody else, it gives City something to think about.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, you know what I say? They're better off starting Lukaku. It's like they have someone there as a threat. But when I look at Chelsea without a Lukaku, they struggle to score goals, honestly. Even though Lukaku himself doesn't score the goals lately. And I feel like his presence will be there if something comes like a scenario. His presence will be needed. And like when you look back at some of the games where Lukaku hasn't been there, you see Kai Havertz missing some beautiful chances. Like you think to yourself, oh, maybe Lukaku would have probably scored those easy tap-ins that Kai Havertz or what's his name, that useless Timo Werner missed.
Listen, Lukaku has as much goals as Jack Grealish. So what's up?
Well, Michael, here's the thing, right? I mean, Chelsea fans will probably admit, and I have many friends with Chelsea fans, that Lukaku was really not their choice. They really didn't want Lukaku. Let's be fair. No. Right? They wanted either Kane or Haaland. Right? That's what they wanted. Lukaku was not their choice. And I think now there's a divide, especially after the interview he gave to Sky Sports Italia about the fact that, he wants to go back to Inter Milan and all that kind of stuff. I think to Chelsea perspective's point, Tuchel prefers fluidity. There's a
But
reason
to be
why
honest with you, you know what?
yeah.
What Chelsea fans need to understand is, listen, there was no way in hell, that Daniel Levy was gonna sell Harry Kane to Chelsea. Like last time when I told you, before Luka Modric went to Real Madrid, the year before, Chelsea wanted him. Roman Abramovich wanted him, and offered Tottenham 50 million, and Daniel Levy said no. He turned it down. He waited a year later to sell him for less to Real Madrid. What makes you think he's gonna sell his prized asset in Harry Kane to his direct local rival? He's not gonna do that. If he didn't do it for Luka Modric, what makes you think he's gonna do it for Kane?
Yeah. Anyways, it's been an hour so far. Let's go around the table and wrap up. I want to ask you guys two questions. Each person will talk about. I'll call you up. Ask you the question: where will this game be won or lost, and what will the score line be? Let's start with Neka, and then we'll go to Patrick, Certified, Mike, and then Ade, and then Adam. Adam last before me. Neka, where will this game be won or lost, and what will the score line be?
The midfield. I'm most particular about the midfield. If we can control that midfield, I think we're going to control everything. We control the midfield and the likes of Raheem Sterling and Foden. Guess at the end of it, you're going to win the match. You understand? So if you can control the midfield, control Kovacic, in particular about that guy, he's too good. If you can control him, you've controlled the midfield. I think he has been their best midfielder. And Kante has been in and out of the squad due to injuries, COVID. But the best midfielder so far this season has been Kovacic. So if you can control Kovacic, you've controlled their midfield and control the whole game. So I think we are going to win. I think they might score. I know their attackers can be very useless. They've been useless of late, but at least maybe they might get one goal. But we're going to win by 2-1.
So Neka says 2-1. Okay. Next. I think I called Certified next.
Yeah, man. For me, bro, I just think that the game's gonna be won at the full box. I think it's gonna be won on those wings area. I just think that it's gonna it depends on the width for me this game, like how well you use the wide areas, I think. And if Phil Foden has a good game on the left or Raheem Sterling has a good game on the right, I think that will be what wins it. And I think that if they end up getting a counter on the wings and end up, I don't know, let's say we get caught out and players are all over the place, and then Marcus Alonso's running down, I think that's where it'll be won. I remember, was it last season when we lost 2-0 or 2-1, and it was in the door, it ran on the right wing and then crossed it to Alonso. So I think it'll be similar.
Yeah. Mike. So score Certified. What do you think is going to be the score before you go to Mike?
I'm going to say 2-0 City.
Wow, 2-0. Okay. So clean sheet.
Man. Come on, the Blues, man.
Yeah. Mike.
Well, my concern tomorrow is two players, Laporte and Edison. All right.
This guy and Edison.
This guy and Edison.
I don't think we're gonna keep a clean sheet. I just feel like Laporte gonna make a silly decision and Edison gonna be coming out for unnecessary reasons and causing some drama.
The previous game with Edison,
hold on,
I always think Edison think he ain't got nothing to do, and he always try to do something to be in the game. But I think we're gonna win. I think Sterling gonna have a good game. I think my standout play for tomorrow is gonna be Gundogan and Jesus if he plays. All right, because Jesus always deliver against Chelsea on and off the ball. He always have a good game, and so I have no doubt. But my concern is just Edison and Laporte. That's it. But otherwise, I think we'll win. We'll probably score 2-3 goals, and I don't think we're gonna keep a clean sheet.
So 3-1.
Yeah, probably 3-1.
So Adam, let me give you a small twist. Who on Chelsea's side should we look out for? Who's going to be dangerous, and what will the score be for the game tomorrow?
I think Chelsea players. Are you asking me?
No, Adam. For Adam.
Okay.
What was the question?
Who on Chelsea's side should we watch out for? Who's going to be the most dangerous player to watch out for? And what will the score be?
To be honest with you, even though Kai Havertz hasn't been hasn't been
Pussy.
performing yet. I still feel like he could be a threat if he's given the chance to be run through the defense. If he's given the chance, but where I feel like we've got to be careful is the midfield. If we win the midfield battle, then I'll say we win the game and also be clinical in front of goal. When we get our chances, score the goals. But my score prediction is probably, for some reason, I feel like it's going to be like, we will end up conceding the way sometimes Edison is, like what Mikey said, the way he is at the back. Sometimes even in the previous game, the way he's messing about, like, I'm thinking to myself, just kick the ball out or do something. And he's just there messing about at the back. I feel like it's going to be like a 2-1.
Yeah, I coming to you. Let me give you a little twist as well. Who gets the first yellow card from both teams, and what's the score? What's the score going to be?
First yellow card.
Alonso.
I feel the first yellow card is probably going to come. Is going to be on a City player. It's going to be on a City player because, and my reasoning for that is they're going. Most of their chances are going to come from counterattacks. In counterattacks, you have to make a quick decision, and Cancelo is usually guilty of that because when you're trying to recover from a counterattack, you foul quickly. They're going to be more on the defensive foot. It's just my opinion, but if you're more set in your defensive stance already, it's harder to make the mistakes early. I think for us, we're going to have to watch out for the counters, and when they do those counters, you got to be quick. You got to make a tactical decision, like, okay, I got to take this foul. And I think Cancelo gets that a lot. For the player I think was going to be significant in this game, I think Bernardo is going to have a brilliant game, and I think Cancelo is going to have a brilliant game as well. I think De Bruyne will have his regular game. The goals might not necessarily come from Bernardo Silva or Cancelo, but I think they're going to influence a huge part of this game because it's going to be, like everyone is saying, about controlling the game. And when it comes to control, I don't think there's anybody better than Bernardo Silva. And the way Cancelo can move the ball around, it kind of makes it difficult for defenders. So I think that's how the game goes. I think they do get a goal, like everyone is saying, because, I'm going to admit, Edison, sometimes he seems a bit bored in goal because, the ball's not coming to him. So it feels like, man, I got to do something fancy. And, and then, we have defenders that
play him right
sometimes,
back.
man, they just, I think we concede a goal, and it probably will come from one nonsense set piece. I think Adam said it, they're brilliant at set pieces. A lot of their goals have come from defenders this year. So if they get a corner and we do that stupid zoning thing that we do and not picking up players, one of those tall guys they have will head the ball in, and just like that. I hope they don't get it early, because if they get it early and they shut down, the game's going to be boring, but they might pull it out. But I see it a close game. I see 2-1.
Absolutely. And let's go to Patrick. So, Patrick, God forbid that we lose tomorrow. God forbid that we lose tomorrow. Does that change anything? I mean, how would you feel? Yes, you feel bad for the day. How would you feel? Assume that we lose tomorrow.
To be honest with you, people are trying to. I've noticed the media. Another thing I noticed in the media is, and a lot of rival fans, they're trying to put pressure on this, pressure on City, saying if they lose, the title is back on. Look, at the end of the day, we lose this game with 6 points or 7. I don't know if it's 6 points, isn't it? 6 points? 7 points. So, and then we're not going to drop those more points. Let me be honest with you. If you guys manage to beat us tomorrow, we're not going to drop. That's how confident I am in my team. Pep is not going to allow that team to lose 2 games. You know what I mean? No, there's not going to happen. If we lose Chelsea, whoever is next is going to get it battered. He's going to get it beaten. That's what the City do. So pressure is on Chelsea. Chelsea have to perform. And if they come there to pack the bus, or they come there to do a draw, it's going to be bad for them, because City, I hope City play like this. When somebody's the one under pressure, all you do is relax and wait. Just watch them. Let them be the ones under pressure. You continue playing your game. As Adi said, when we're playing our game, nobody can stop us. So I hope we don't start panicking or trying to prove anything. I think we should just
Chelsea
pass
have
the ball.
more to lose than us, basically.
Yeah, exactly, Adam. So we just pass the ball, wait for opportunities, and let Chelsea panic and try their best to be doing draws or packing the bus or trying to get mistakes. At the end of the day, look, if we get a draw, I'm still smiling.
I'd rather it take us 25 minutes, and us score a goal, than it take 15 minutes, and then it takes us to mess about, and then we concede 2 goals. I'd rather it take us 25 minutes and get a goal than us. The first 15 minutes, we just mess about and then we let
Exactly,
two silly
Adam.
goals.
There's no point of us like rushing for it, like trying to say let's kill this. If we do that, look, fair play. If City come in, sometimes City come in looking for blood. We all know.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come looking for blood. They come in to kill you. But if they take their time, the longer the game goes, I think the one who's under pressure is Chelsea. I'm still confident with the gap. I think if the gap was less, I wouldn't be confident. But look, at the end of the day, it's them chasing us, and I doubt if CJ if they drop points in this, they're gonna drop more points. If we get a draw, I wouldn't be worried. If we lose, I'll say, I fair play to Chelsea, but we just wake up for the next. I just make sure we don't drop points in the next game. That's what for me.
Yeah.
And in rounding up, I want to thank Certified for joining us today. Mike, thanks for joining the show today. And Wanika, again, the lady of the house, thank you for joining us. Adam, you've been there before, bro. Welcome back. Ade, again. Ade has a great. In fact, Ade should be our executive producer going for joining us. But it's been live. For those on the chat, thanks for coming on. Support the channel, True City Fan TV, and Pitch Points. We just collaborate and just do it because we love the game. We love football. I would hope that we can continue this on. For me, for the game tomorrow, I think that if we win the game tomorrow, 13 points clear, the league is done.
Done.
Kill up Chelsea.
Gonna be a farmers league after that.
Then just wait for Liverpool.
And just one thing.
If it's a draw, if it's 10 points, we kill off that. We've killed off Chelsea, then it's Liverpool next. And that's my
I've got a question for everyone.
Then we win the next one.
I got a quick question for everyone. If you had to pick a choice between Haaland or Vlahovic and Felix, who would you choose? And why?
That's another show.
Or the next show.
That's another. But let's ask each one. Real quick. It's a roundup. Haaland, Vlahovic, or Yao Felix? Ade, who would you pick?
Haaland.
Is anybody?
I don't think that's a difficult question.
It's not difficult. It's Haaland. It's Haaland all the way. You have to choose Haaland above any other person.
Yeah, man, it's Haaland, man. I want to see him score, man, and do the meditation.
What's his name? Vlahovic. That's how you call it.
Go and sit down, Mike, I beg.
That's him for me.
No way.
And I have my reasons why.
No way. I don't need your reasons. No way.
I said I have my reasons why.
Stop it.
But we'll talk about. I think that's a show that we'll probably do. Maybe after the Chelsea game, we'll do a show on.
Oh yeah, we can do a show. I'm coming in all my stats, my facts.
Yeah, you bring all your stats. Bring all your stats.
Team than Haaland.
We'll do a show.
Go bring all your stats. I can't wait.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. For the guests, thank you very much for coming to the show. We'll see you next time. And for tomorrow's game, Off the Blues. Take care.